Thanks so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would love it if you don't mind, if you could introduce yourself a little bit, who you are, where you live, and what you do here at Tuff.
Alrighty. Yes. So, hi everybody. I am Janie. I am the CRO strategist here at Tuff. I come in and look at websites and analyze their data and find areas of opportunity. I am located in South Florida, and the weather down here is very lovely right now.
I love it. Very opposite from where I am in Salem. It's a nice, chill fall day, which I love. Awesome. So I was actually curious, how did you get into CRO? And I guess, in general, why CRO?
Yeah, absolutely. So it all started when I was out of college and looking, scouting the world for a job. And I was able to land one as a digital analyst at my previous agency. And during the time of during the onboarding, they were showing us different areas of the agency, and CRO was one of them. So we took on a project and we were, scouting or looking through a specific resort, and our job was to look for, any possible areas of opportunity. So I presented mine, I looked at the data, and when I did, they were like, "Wait, these are actually pretty good. Do you want to join our CRO team?" And um, that's where I started CRO.
That's awesome. So what do you think your favorite thing about CRO is? Like what, keeps you excited about it?
Yeah. So one of I use this term a lot, listening to the silent user. So
Love that.
I love diving into the data and finding what the user's telling us. So we don't directly know how the user behaves on the site. Excuse me, maybe we cut that off. But we don't know exactly what the user thinks when they're on the site, but we can see that through the data. So one of the things that I love to do is looking and putting myself in their shoes and navigating through the itself and seeing how a user typically react and how we can improve that. How can we improve that user experience? So yeah, that's one of my favorite things, listening to that silent user.
I love that. I love that phrase. Big fan. um, One of my favorite things to talk about is how I explain SEO to friends and family, especially maybe some of those older family members. How do you usually explain to your friends and family what it is that you do?
Yeah, so a CRL typically is not something that is very easy to explain to someone
Yeah.
because it involves like testing or diving into the statistics part of CRL. So what I typically do is like I'm a mix of a data analyst and a strategist. So I look at the data and I come in and I help make decisions with my teams and overall improve the user experience on the site.
Nice. I love it. Nice and simple and clean.
Yes.
All right. So you're pretty new to Tough. Um, I was wondering what brought you to Tough, and as a pretty new hire here at Tough, what's been your favorite thing about it so far?
Oh my goodness, everybody's absolutely charming here. I could say this so many times, but everybody's so sweet. It's like we're actually a family here. And I love that we can just dive in and just, post pictures of ourselves and like, oh, look what we did this weekend, or look what I'm going to do this weekend. And it's very lovely. One of the things that did attract me to Tough when I was, going through the application process is looking at company reviews.
Mhm.
We have outstanding reviews, and it's so beautiful just having to read through them and seeing every all the 5 stars. That's the only reviews you guys we had anyway. So it was seeing it and diving into what the reviewer was saying and how this is a overall very connected company and how
Right.
everybody works together, and it was just so lovely, and that right there is what stood out to me.
I love it. That's so great. Um, it's so great to have you. And I felt the same way. I'm, gosh, coming on 6 months here, which is crazy. And yeah, like the community is super fun and it makes remote work not really seem like remote work, which is nice. So if you could summarize into just a few sentences to a newcomer to describe Tough, what would you say?
I would say that Tough is a very collaborative fun and loving team.
Definitely. Love that. All right. Let's get to some more fun stuff about you. So I've heard through the grapevine that there are two areas of interest that you like to talk about, gardening and cats. If you could go into one or both of those, that would be awesome.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to start with gardening first, save the best for last. But I do enjoy gardening. It's, I think, one of a very relaxing hobby that I do have. In my backyard, I do have several tropical trees, so I do love enjoying, seeing the fruit grow from, the tiny little speck and then all the way into the actual fruit is such a beautiful process. And yes, it takes a long time,
Yeah.
but just you sitting there and enjoying the moment of, your gardening it's very, very relaxing. I have recently these new fresh fruit in my yard. They're called maize. It's a
Mm.
South Florida fruit, and it's very beautiful just seeing it grow. I do have cats now, jumping onto the cats, and they love knocking down the maize
I
because
love
they
that.
like jumping on the tree. But yes, cat is my second thing that I really love a lot. I have three cats and they're just absolutely wonderful.
What
All
are their
different
names?
personalities. Yeah, so one is called Rowan, the other one Chloe, and the third one is Harmony. So all different personalities. Yes. Definitely juggling with each and every one of them. But they're all overall very sweet creatures. I really love cats. I am allergic to them, fun fact, but they something an allergy pill won't fix. But other than that, I do enjoy being around them. I do love playing with them, and again, just like gardening is a really relaxing experience.
Absolutely. No, I feel the same way when we've had dogs in the past. It can be so cathartic. Like you take a break and you can hug them or play and it's definitely fun to distract yourself and see the world through their eyes a little bit. It becomes a little bit more simplistic.
Yes, absolutely.
I love it. That's awesome. So, with the gardening, what would you recommend to someone just getting started to garden?
Ooh, I would say start with houseplants first. Because they're right next to you. If you have them in your
Yeah.
office, you can keep an eye on them. And very simple houseplants, they're not that hard to take care of. So I would say start there.
That sounds good. That question was definitely for me. Okay, so one thing I love to ask is, if you weren't in marketing, if you weren't at an agency doing CRO, what do you think you'd be doing instead?
Oh my goodness. I've thought about this a lot.
I love it.
And if I didn't have allergies, I would probably be a veterinarian.
Oh, I love that. That's so
Yes.
awesome. Oh man, you have to be pretty strong too. I feel like when I see any pets like sick or having to go to the
Hmm.
vet at all, even if it's just for a normal checkup and they're so nervous, I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yes. And that is why I am not a
That is
veterinarian.
what there you go. I love it. That's awesome though. Okay. One final question before I let you go. And hopefully when I let you go, I'll be sending you off to this place. If you could travel anywhere right now, where would you go?
I would love to travel to Cancun.
All
It's not
right.
that far from South Florida. It's about an hour on the plane. And I've always wanted to visit the resort side of Mexico. I'm originally from Mexico. My parents are from Mexico. So
Awesome.
I when I typically go is just visit family and enjoy the
Right.
company. But I definitely do want to explore the other parts of my country
I
and
love that.
dive into that culture.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's so exciting. Well, I hope you get to plan that soon. And seriously, thank you so much for taking the time to do this today. I know it is a far cry from us usually hiding behind our laptops and getting to just sit down and do the work, but I really appreciate it. It's been so great getting to know you. We're so, so happy you're here. And like I mentioned, I hope you get to fly up to Cancun and enjoy a nice weekend at a resort soon.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, for having me.
Absolutely.